You know, we got this warning from Homeland Security, and at the time, I mean, the right went absolutely bonkers. I mean, the wording on it, I mean, they've all come back and said our wording should have been better on that. That was a little weird. But now, like Savannah Stover has just written me from Colorado, shame on you and Catherine Herridge for perpetrating the obscene Department of Homeland Security report on military extremists. Shame on you. This is a former military guy, and he's gone extremist. They were warning us for a reason, not about something political or social or anything else, except they see signs that this sort of thing is bubbling up. They saw the signs, and now it has begun. I just wonder if there's really a way to put a hold on it. Maybe sending out a, you know, it's like when they used to raise the threat level in the United States. Oh, we've gone to code red. I'm like, so what does this make me do? You know, do I put double bolts on the lock when I go in to use the bathroom? You don't really change anything. But this warning, as it turns out, there was something to it. It was not obscene by the Department of Homeland Security, Savannah Stover in Colorado. It was a warning to us all, and it appears now that they were right.
And it was simply pointing out the possibilities. And that report had been requested a significant amount of time prior to its release. And you're right, it was incredibly emotive. Again, by a small group of, I think, that came out and said, oh my God, how can you? Well, all they're doing is what they're tasked with doing, examining all the various possibilities. And someone like von Braun falls into a distinct possibility on the domestic side, and we have to be aware of that. But it's clearly an emotive subject. There's no doubt about that. It's just that again, we have an issue in this country right now when it comes to national security, and there is a tendency for us to allow the events of the past, as difficult as that is to say. And some people say, well, we'll never forget 9/11. Well, we see it in our attitudes towards increased security sometimes. I've sat, and I'm sure you've done the same thing. You're in line at the airport. People are complaining about security. Oh my God, I can't believe I got to take my shoes off still. Well, think back, and then you look at an incident like this.
And you know, but I do understand that, because some of the things they make us do are preposterous, and they later come back and say, that was more to make you feel better. You don't have to do that anymore. But you're spot on. I want to talk to Heidi Bayrich, who's on the line with us. She's from the Southern Poverty Law Center, a nonprofit that sort of attacks hate and intolerance with education and the rest. Heidi, it's hard to in general terms speak of people like this, extremists who snap, but I know that's one of the things that folks like your organization are studying and trying to prevent people like this from slipping through the cracks. What sort of insight can you offer?
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. That is something we're extremely concerned about. And when people get sucked into neo-Nazi and other extremist ideologies, sometimes that is what happens, and they crack. And this guy has been involved in Holocaust denial and neo-Nazi thinking and racism since the 1970s. He's a prime candidate for sort of going off the rails, and unfortunately, that's what happened here.
You know, the Homeland Security warned us that they've sensed that this was a time when extremists homegrown style extremists like this man, they mentioned at the time with a military background, might begin going off. Is this something that your organization has noticed, chronicled in any way?
Yeah, well, I mean, the truth is the Department of Homeland Security report got savaged, but they were on to something there. We've had several examples of domestic terrorism just in the last few months. We had a crazed cop killer in Pittsburgh who was motivated by racism and anti-government views, who killed 3 people in his front yard. We had a guy actually found with the components of a dirty bomb, according to the FBI, in January in Bangor, Maine, who had a whole bunch of anti-government beliefs. We've had 2 assassination plots against the president, one that was, perpetrated by some skinheads. So we're seeing an uptick in domestic terrorism, unfortunately, right now.